Everything happening on Earth is the effect of how every resident is using Creator's energy. The light's forces efforts to move all darkness still are happening most of stage, so to say, and be assured that everything is moving as space to transform life throughout your world. Our dear sisters and brothers, your contributions are as vital in this moment as they've been all along. Let us tell you how Soul, the soul that embodied as the sun star in your solar system, is contributing. You can rightly think of Soul, God and Gaia as the trinity that used Creator's energy to put into motion their ideas that manifested the magnificent planet now called Earth. Soul provides the light that enables life in your world, and solar flares are his power surges that are adding impetus to Earth's ascension course, releasing her humankind from the bondage of mass mind control and strengthening all life forms that absorb the light. It is blatant nonsense that you must be shielded from the sun's rays. Mind and spirit to be active outdoor farming, yard or construction work, tending flowers, walking, swimming, riding horseback, playing with companion animals, whatever it is enjoyable or productive. You are beginning to wonder where it all ends, assuming that the changes cannot go on forever. But how much longer will the suffering have to be experienced? We have to say that major changes cannot take place without bringing about some sorrow and despair. Yet, if you can see the reason for it, you would surely realize that nothing happens by chance. A key word is glancing at a physical level and allowing humanity the opportunity to begin bringing in new ideas that will move you on to the levels that no longer support the lower vibrations that may be holding you back. The timing of changes is often related to those that are healers and place ideas within the minds of humanity, so that the collective thoughts create an energy for change that can gather sufficient power to bring them into being. It is welcome when it is positive, but you have to remember that it equally applies to negative thoughts, and you are beginning to realize how powerful they can be. Some people practice voodoo, and there is an example of just how powerful the spoken word can be. And of course, it also applies to those who are healers, having learned how to use the energy positively. As you evolve, your thoughts become more powerful, whilst at the same time, so does your ability to control them. The present situation upon Earth calls for patience and understanding. There seems to be no end in sight to the troubles you are experiencing, but the seeds for change have been laid down, and they will bring about some uplifting ones, much to your delight. The light grows brighter at the end of the tunnel, and will continue to do so until the darkness has been completely removed. Joy and happiness is not far away, but first, you must address the conditions that are causing the upheaval upon Earth. They are so negative and will continue so for quite a time as the changes become more frequent. Unite, build communities that are self-sustaining, and generate power and strength from that. Regaining a life of freedom means generating power and strength and courageously stepping up for your own well-being. The split in society and the division of people are the cause of all upheaval. In this day and age, the unity of man is the key to success, and to victory over darkness. All living beings shall unite so that what is dead shall die, and what is not vital can be dismissed. So, take heart and gain confidence in your own power and strength, because that is what is needed now, and love God. Love God, because all that is exists through God, and you are under His immediate protection. All your endeavors are bound to succeed as long as they are dedicated to God. As long as you walk through life hand in hand with God, you will be unharmed. This time can only be mastered with God, so get inspired and allow yourself to be guided to the right path. As you might have noted, generally, the relativist trick is to decide away what is affected by curvature and what is not, so that they find an observable backdrop relative to which. The one affected by the curvature supposedly reveals that one of the space-time in which it is supposedly embedded. You wonder how the narrator can make the choice of what to embed and what not to do. It is done on the same spot, in favor of the relativist. In the starlight near the sun example, the sun itself is not distorted alongside the space-time, or the observer's eye is not similarly distorted. In the case of gravitational time dilation, the light emitted by a distant clock does not undergo the dilations, even as it travels through supposedly distorted spaces. In the case of expansion of the universe, as you will notice, the objects themselves are not undergoing the expansion, even as space itself is the one that is supposedly expanding. Of course, if the objects underwent expansion by the same scale as the space-time itself, we will not notice any change by observing wavelengths of the light that is supposedly stretched by the expansion of space. If you stretch a ruler alongside the object you are measuring, you will not notice any change. So how does that space-time expand without the expansion of the objects into which they are embedded? Why doesn't this expansion affect the light itself? After all, the light too, according to the same relatively, have mass. Yes, indeed, it is a possibility, even a likelihood. Deeply affective experiencing is retained in cellular memory for several embodiments and can be triggered by similar circumstances in subsequent lives. Holdovers, which are quite common, can affect individuals' choices and actions this time around. Your reluctance to commit to a permanent relationship very likely is due to the ending of a romantic relationship that caused great pain in one or more incarnations. It doesn't matter whether you were the broken-hearted or the heartbreaker, only the sorrowful aspect is retained, and subliminal memories of that experience can evoke fear of the same outcome. Soul contracts come into this. The cumulative soul knows whether chosen lessons were mastered, partially filled, or given a little attention. And because contracts are designed for soul's growth, the same lessons are chosen until they are completed. Souls that shared any kind of traumatic experience make a pre-birth agreement that includes playing the same roles until whatever had happened can be entirely avoided or happily resolved. Prevailing vibrations are conducive to tapping into soul-level knowledge of other lives and discovering that today's stronger version to something is because of what happened long ago, perhaps centuries. With that understanding, individuals can stop letting the past influence the present, and the same is true about an irrational fear that causes a debilitating fear. Well-trained therapists who are spiritually and consciously evolved can use hypnosis or other means to help persons free themselves from being trapped in memories. Some will wonder what happens to those who have no belief in everlasting life or God. They are still evolving, albeit at a slower rate than most others, but are destined to eventually wake up to the truth, since all exists in the now, meaning all that ever was. Understand, therefore, that in reality there is no such thing as time as you understand it. That your present level of understanding, it may be difficult to accept a totally different picture to what you've been told, but rest assured, in time you will arrive at a truthful understanding. However, do not be worried if you cannot understand the idea of the truth being vastly different to your beliefs. In time, the truth will gradually come out, and at no time will you find it overwhelming. You will not be rushed to follow a path leading to it, and it is best that you arrive at it in your own good time. You may ask how you sought out the truth from all that exists, but your intuition will keep you on the right tune, providing you take notice of it. We try to gently widen your knowledge so that you are able to handle it, and hopefully you will be discerning and able to accept the truth. If this time around you do not, it doesn't matter, as no one is pushing you and you have all the time you want. But sure, to keep an open mind and ready to accept a greater truth than you may have now. All will be well. After all, you have your guides to help you be discerning.